Have you ever wondered why we age? Why things start to slow down? Why recovery takes longer? Why your energy isn't what it used to be, even when you're doing all of the right things? Aging is deeply connected to changes happening inside your cells. Sure, aging is a natural part of life, but what's causing it is more complex than just time passing. Behind the scenes, your body is constantly balancing growth and repair with damage and stress. And one of the biggest stressors is something called oxidative stress, a cellular process that's now considered one of the main drivers of aging and age-related diseases. This is the Hydrogen Studies Podcast, sponsored by Echo Water. Today we're diving into something surprisingly small but incredibly powerful, molecular hydrogen. It's the lightest and most basic molecule in the universe, just two hydrogen atoms bonded together. And yet, recent research suggests it could have a real impact on how we age, not by stopping aging completely, but by helping slow down the damage that builds up in our cells over time. This idea isn't science fiction. Over the past several decades, hundreds of studies ranging from cell models to animal research and even human trials have looked into the effects of hydrogen on oxidative stress, inflammation, mitochondrial health, and more. And what researchers are finding is pretty exciting. Hydrogen seems to work in a unique way, acting not just as an antioxidant, but also as a kind of cellular guide, helping the body regulate its natural defense systems without overwhelming them. And this gives it an edge over other approaches that try to fight aging by force. So today we're going to break this down. What is oxidative stress? How does it accelerate aging? And how might hydrogen actually help slow it down on a cellular level? Let's dig into the science and why it could matter for the way we age, think, move, and live. Aging doesn't just happen overnight. One of the biggest causes is something called oxidative stress, and here's how it works. Every day, your body creates energy. In the process, it also produces byproducts, tiny, unstable molecules called free radicals. The body generates free radicals following exposure to all kinds of environmental pollutants and radiation, and they can damage your cells over time. Normally, your body fights this off with antioxidants, but as we age, or when we're under stress, physical or emotional, those defenses can't always keep up. This leads to cellular senescence. That's when cells stop working properly and die. These dead cells no longer help anymore and can spread inflammation, making everything worse. Think of them like broken machines stuck in on mode, releasing inflammatory signals and clogging up the system. A 2022 review in Cells explained how oxidative stress plays a major role in nearly every aging-related disease, from heart problems to brain decline. It's part of what causes your immune system to weaken, your skin to wrinkle, and your recovery to slow down. Normally, your body has ways to keep oxidative stress under control. It uses antioxidant enzymes like superoxide dismutase and glutathione peroxidase to neutralize harmful molecules. But as you age, or when you're exposed to too much stress, pollution, poor diet, or even certain medications, your defenses wear down. The result? Damage piles up faster than your body can repair it. And that's when senescent cells start to spread. These zombie cells not only stop doing their jobs, they actually trigger inflammation and make surrounding cells age faster too. This process has been linked to diseases like Alzheimer's, cancer, and diabetes. So the big question is, can we interrupt this cycle? Can we reduce oxidative stress, protect our cells, and slow down the aging process, not just on the surface, but deep inside our biology? That's exactly what researchers are exploring with molecular hydrogen, and the results so far are fascinating. So the question becomes, how do we reduce this stress on our cells? This is where molecular hydrogen, or H2, comes in. Hydrogen is the smallest molecule in the universe, a colorless, tasteless, and odorless gas. But despite its size, researchers have discovered that it may have a powerful effect inside the human body. When molecular hydrogen is absorbed by drinking hydrogen-rich water, inhaling hydrogen gas, or ingesting hydrogen-producing tablets, it doesn't just float around. It goes to work at the cellular level. Hydrogen acts as what scientists call a selective antioxidant. Unlike typical antioxidants, which neutralize all reactive oxygen species, hydrogen is more targeted. It focuses on the most harmful types, especially hydroxyl radicals and peroxynitrite, both of which are highly reactive and damaging to cells. What's important here is that hydrogen doesn't interfere with beneficial ROS that the body actually needs for normal signaling and immune responses. That means it targets the most harmful free radicals, like hydroxyl radicals, without wiping out all the useful ones your body still needs. In one key study, researchers looked at how hydrogen affected bone marrow-derived mesenchymal stem cells, the type of cells that naturally help repair tissues and maintain healthy function. When those cells were exposed to oxidative stress, they began showing classic signs of aging. But when hydrogen was introduced, it made a big difference. The cells had lower levels of p53 and p21, two proteins that are deeply involved in triggering cellular senescence. Essentially, hydrogen helped keep the cells younger and more functional. Another study took a different angle. Researchers exposed cells to hydrogen peroxide, a common oxidant that bodies produce during stress or inflammation. Normally, hydrogen peroxide causes serious damage at the cellular level, but in the presence of hydrogen, the damage was greatly reduced. The cells were better protected and less likely to enter senescence or die prematurely. These studies are exciting because they suggest hydrogen doesn't just mask symptoms. It may actually slow down the biological aging process at the level of DNA repair, protein expression, and mitochondrial protection. In simple terms, hydrogen helps your cells hold the line against stress and stay healthier longer. The story gets even more compelling when we move beyond cells in a lab dish and look at how hydrogen performs in animal models of aging. But first, a word from our sponsor. Your body is a system, and when it's running right, you feel focused, energized, in flow. But sometimes we struggle to find that flow state. Why? Because there's too much static in our system. Brain fog, fatigue, and inflammation. The Echo Flask clears the static by infusing your water with molecular hydrogen, a natural, science-backed gas that helps your body think sharper, recover faster, and run smoother. This is more than hydration. It's better focus, more energy, faster recovery, less internal stress, and long-term benefits that keep you sharp. When your water works harder, your whole system does too. Find your flow state with the Echo Flask hydrogen water bottle and get an unlimited supply of hydrogen water at home and on the go. Visit echowater.com and use code H2Studies to get 10% off of your first order with Echo Hydrogen Water products. In a 2021 study, scientists use a compound called D-galactose to create accelerated aging in mice, a widely used method that mimics natural aging by increasing oxidative stress, inflammation, and mitochondrial dysfunction. The mice began showing clear signs of age-related decline, and their bodies showed signs of inflammation at the cellular level. But when hydrogen was introduced, whether by drinking hydrogen-rich water, injection of saline, or inhalation of gas, those negative effects began to reverse. The mice treated with hydrogen had lower levels of inflammatory markers. Their antioxidant enzymes also got a boost, including superoxide dismutase, which helps neutralize harmful free radicals in the brain and liver. Another study looked at hydrogen's protective role against oxidative damage in different tissues. Researchers exposed animal cells and organs to high levels of oxidative stress, and the result without hydrogen? Increased cell death and tissue damage. But with hydrogen delivered through multiple methods like drinking hydrogen-rich water, inhaling hydrogen gas, or injecting hydrogen-rich saline, those effects were reduced. Hydrogen consistently helped the cell survive and function better under pressure. What stands out in these studies is how versatile hydrogen appears to be. It didn't matter how it was given, oral, intravenous, or inhaled. The protective effects were still there. And that suggests hydrogen isn't just a local fix, it works systemically across the body. These findings don't mean hydrogen is a miracle cure, but they do point to something real. Hydrogen helps the body handle stress better, especially the kind of stress that builds up with age. It seems to give cells a better shot at recovery, and that's a big deal when it comes to aging well. So how exactly is molecular hydrogen doing all this? Scientists believe hydrogen isn't just acting as an antioxidant. It's also switching on certain cellular defense systems. One of the most studied is the NRF2 pathway, which helps regulate how your body responds to oxidative stress. When activated, NRF2 moves into the cell nucleus and turns on genes that produce powerful protective enzymes like glutathione peroxidase, superoxide dismutase, and heme oxygenase 1. These enzymes are your body's natural cleanup crew, breaking down harmful free radicals and reducing inflammation. Hydrogen appears to gently stimulate this system, activating your body's own defenses rather than overwhelming it like some high-dose antioxidant supplements might. And that's what makes it different. It's not wiping out all oxidation, but instead balancing it, keeping the good while reducing the bad. Another key target is the mitochondria, the tiny energy producers inside almost every cell in your body. Mitochondria are especially vulnerable to damage from oxidative stress, and when they start to fail, everything slows down. Energy drops, recovery weakens, and aging speeds up. Multiple studies have found that hydrogen helps protect mitochondrial structure and function by reducing ROS levels inside these organelles, preserving membrane integrity, and supporting ATP production, your cell's main energy source. In fact, a 2023 review emphasized that mitochondria may be one of hydrogen's most important hubs of action. Hydrogen appears to regulate mitochondrial quality control, helping remove damaged parts and keep energy production running smoothly. Some researchers now believe hydrogen works more like a cellular signal than a blunt tool. Instead of forcing the body to act, it seems to guide the systems back into balance, reducing unnecessary inflammation, improving resilience, and supporting natural repair pathways. And this signaling role may help explain why hydrogen has shown benefits in so many different tissues and disease models, from the brain to the liver to skeletal muscle. So rather than trying to fight aging directly, hydrogen may offer something smarter. It helps the body do what it already knows how to do: recover, repair, and adapt, but with less stress holding it back. And let's be honest, there's no single answer to aging, but the idea that something as simple as hydrogen could help reduce cellular stress, that's worth paying attention to. The research isn't finished. We need more human studies, better dosing methods, and a deeper understanding of how it all works. But right now, hydrogen looks safe, accessible, and full of potential. Next time, we'll explore how hydrogen impacts cellular aging specifically. Until then, stay healthy, stay curious, and we'll catch you next time.